Oh, sorry, I didn't set up my camera yet. Okay, so let's talk about this. So this is how a story works. So right here we have the beginning, where it sort of introduces the reader to what's happening or what your story is going to be about. All right, right after the beginning, we introduce the conflict or the problem in the story. Okay. Okay, after that, we have rising action. So things start to build up. And then we have the climax, which is like the most intense part of the story. Then we have falling action, where things start to kind of get cleaned and tidied up. You start to have closure. And then you have your end or your resolution, or as it said in our book, our conclusion. Okay, so we're trying to identify the conflict or the problem in our story. So the conflict and the problem in our story, in my opinion, is the diorama. Okay, so we have two conflicts. Sarah had a bad day. That's kind of the beginning part, telling us she had a bad day, and that's why her dad goes into this whole story about the diorama and what happened to it. Diorama, I wanted to spell that right. Okay, and then the rising action in the story is when he tells us all about George, his friend, and how great he was at projects and all of that, and how he was kind of competing with George. Hold on. That's great. Okay. So you're kind of like, oh, well, that seems like a lot of work, all of that. And then the climax of this story would be when he wakes up. And what does he hear? He hears his dog, Lucy, destroying his diorama, just tearing it into bits. Okay? That's the climax. So now you're thinking, oh no, what's going to happen? It's ruined. Okay? He goes on and he presents it at school. And then he actually said it out loud. It says, the dog ate my diorama, which is funny because that's a joke about kids say the dog ate my homework. Okay, so he goes to school. He's really worried about it, of course, because he works so hard on it, and then his dog eats it. So he goes to school, and that's when he decided to name it Wagon Train After a Tornado. So he adds after a tornado to it. Okay, and that kind of makes everything okay because it was funny. The teacher thought it was funny. He thought it was funny. So you could consider maybe this